And now, please welcome to the stage your host for the evening, the charmer of chuckling, the cutie of cackling, the lady killer of laughter, the enchanter of exuberance, and the hottie of hilarity, Doug Freedman!
Thanks for coming, guys. We got a great show, but first, my routine. A girlfriend and I stayed at this hotel not too long ago, and it's kind of a run-down old hotel. And in the morning, she went to go get coffee, and I went to use the bathroom. And when I flushed the toilet, it automatically overflowed, like 1.5 inches of water. And I panicked. I wanted to take care of this before she got back, and I called the front desk and asked them to send somebody up from maintenance. And really quickly, there was a knock on the door. And I opened it, and there was this woman standing there. And she wasn't ugly. She looked like she had done some meth, but not so much meth that I'd be casual and cool with her cleaning up this kind of mess for me. She walked into the bathroom and grabbed a towel off the rack, wrapped it around her hand, and told me, "This is how we used to unclog toilets in the pen." Then she crouched over the toilet and started manually unclogging it, and looked at me and said, "It's just like fisting a woman." Have you ever fisted a woman before? And I started to laugh. And she was like, "What? You think this shit is funny?" And I kind of said, "I don't know what I think anymore." I was starting to wonder if she actually worked for the hotel. I don't know much about toilet plungers, like maybe they're really expensive in that town and it's more cost effective to hire ex-cons to do it by hand. Which she did. She did a bang up job. And then a little while later we were packing up the car, getting ready to leave, and she crossed the parking lot. And I saw her and I kind of awkwardly was like, "Hey, sorry, thanks again." And she literally flipped me off and said, "Fuck off, shitmaster!" Which was nice of her because it wasn't that masterly. Not my best work. We successfully re-elected our first gay president. I'm pretty excited about all the mainstream support that gay marriage is getting, but I'm way more excited about what's going to happen next. And obviously I'm talking about gay divorce. It's such a young phenomenon. We have like no idea what the long-term effects are going to be. And I have some family friends, 2 guys that they got married and they adopted a kid. And then they recently just got separated. And I was talking to their son. I was like, "Timmy, I know this has to be a really difficult and confusing time for you, but I think it's super important that you still view this as a victory. Because all this means is eventually, someday down the road, you're gonna have 4 fucking dads, man. You just doubled your dads, dude. Do you know how many kids grow up with no father figure in the picture? You have literally quadrupled the average amount of dads. You're gonna go camping every weekend. Do you know how much fucking catch you're gonna play in your life, Timmy? Why are you crying, Timmy? Timmy, don't cry. I hate to say it, but you're kind of acting like a mama's boy. And moms are for fucking pussies. Last month, I was a pallbearer at my uncle's funeral, which is kind of intense, but it was a really sweet and poignant and beautiful ceremony. And honestly, I gotta say, one of the craziest fucking wakes I've ever been to. We're talking open bar. My Aunt Gertrude's famous meatball sliders, and literally free, unlimited crying. But wakes are nice because you get to catch up with family members that you don't get to see that often. And I know everybody's families are a little crazy, but I think my cousins take the crazy cake. My cousin Andy is like a highly educated industrial engineer, but he works for Taco Bell. And he's super into it, and he wants to talk about it all the time, but because of like non-disclosure agreements, he's got to be all vague, and he's like, yo, Doug, at the wake, yo, Doug, you know those Doritos Locos tacos? I was like, fuck yeah, I know those Doritos Locos tacos. He's like, well, I can't say much about it, but them shits is just the tip of the flavor berg. And then my cousin Joe, he's my favorite. He's a really talented woodworker. And I know this because he always shows me his pipes and bongs that he makes. And at the wake, he pulled me into my uncle's game room and laid this cloth out on the billiards table. I was like, Doug, I think you're ready for this. And I pulled back the cloth, and I looked at this really sleek, hand-carved wooden dildo. And instead of asking him what I was really thinking, which was, why the fuck are you showing this to me? I tried to be polite and feign interest. I was like, wow! What kind of wood is that? And he told me that it was mahogany, and that the flip side was actually a butt plug. And he had drilled a chamber and a hole all the way through, so in a pinch you could use it as a pipe. And I was like, hold up. You're telling me you can stick this thing in your vajay butt and smoke weed out of it? It's like a Swiss Army knife for scumbags. The only thing missing is a little trimmer for your goatee. Or maybe it jizzes spray on tan across your whole body. And then my dad walked into the room. And he covered it up real quick, because my dad's a judge, and I think the weed thing might have freaked him out. And I was like, no, no, no. My dad will appreciate this. You should show it to him. So he called my dad over. He was like, Mr. Freedman, check this out. My dad looked at it, looked at my cousin Joe. He's like, what kind of wood is that? All right, we got a great show for you guys.